The wind howled across the ridge, carrying with it the smell of smoke and frozen earth. Corporal David Franklin huddled inside the wooden watchtower, his rifle resting across his knees as he scanned the distant tree line. Just months earlier, he had been working in his father's auto shop in Detroit, hands covered in grease rather than cold. Now he was responsible for a stretch of land that could decide the safety of hundreds of men below. The orders were simple. Hold the tower until reinforcements arrived at first light. Simple words that felt impossible when the night pressed down with its heavy darkness. The forest below whispered with movement, branches scraping, snow shifting, and the faint crunch of footsteps too far to identify. Every shadow seemed alive, every sound amplified in the tense stillness. David's thoughts drifted home, to his younger sister playing in the yard, to his mother calling him for dinner. For a moment, it was as if those memories were a shield, keeping fear at bay. Hours passed slowly, marked only by the creaking of the tower and the distant calls of night birds. Time itself seemed stretched, as though the world had paused to test their patience. Suddenly, a flare streaked across the sky, lighting the ridge for a brief, blinding moment. David instinctively ducked, heart pounding, waiting for the response that thankfully never came. He exhaled slowly, realizing the enemy had not discovered their position. The watchtower, battered by wind and rain, had held its ground just as he had to. Morning light began to seep through the horizon, softening the dark edges of the forest below. The ridge no longer felt threatening. It felt like a quiet victory. Reinforcements appeared in the distance, their voices carrying faintly on the crisp air. David lowered his rifle, relief settling deep in his chest. The watchtower had done its job, standing alone against the night, unshaken. He touched the worn wood beneath his fingers, silently acknowledging its steadfastness. Some battles leave no stories in newspapers, no headlines, no medals. They exist only in quiet towers, in the eyes of those who waited, and in the patience of the land itself. David climbed down slowly, taking one last glance at the tower silhouetted against the brightening sky. It had waited. It had endured. And it had kept others safe in ways no one outside that ridge could ever fully know. With the sun rising behind him, he joined the column of soldiers moving forward. The war was far from over, but that night's watch had left a lasting mark, silent, steadfast, and unforgettable.